Welcome back. We're here at MJ Harrington Company, right in Newport, and joining me now is owner David Lantz. Thank you for hosting us again this year.
We are delighted to do so.
This is always one of my favorite shows. The store changes every year when we come in, which is awesome. In the past 2 weeks, we've met some of your staff and heard about a lot of your services. You're going to tell us a little bit about the history of the company.
Well, the company started in June of 1948. My aunt Phyllis Lantz Harrington and her husband Mike bought the business from a guy named Maurice Downing. And it had been an established store for a number of years prior to that. Uncle Mike was a watchmaker. My aunt was a buyer for a large department store down in Keene, New Hampshire. And they got together, used their skills. He was best at the bench, very talented craftsman, preferred to be at the bench versus the customer interaction, although he was reasonably good with customers. That wasn't his favorite place.
Yeah.
And then Dad was encouraged at the same time after the Second World War to go to watchmaking school with his brother, my Uncle Bob. And so all three of these guys were watchmakers as a trade for their entire careers. Dad bought the business from Uncle Mike and Aunt Phyllis in 1970 and changed it to more jewelry than gifts and watch repair, although he still continued to do watch repair. And then in 1992, actually in 1976, I became involved after my 4-year college career and a couple of years of other things. And then in 1992, my brother Jeff and I bought the business from Dad, and it had begun to evolve to a more repair service center other than watches, more jewelry manufacturing. In fact, we're soon going to be doing our own casting here in this building. So we've really evolved from primarily a watch service center with lots of gifts to a jewelry store to now a jewelry store with lots of different services, extending right to the very fundamentals of how manufactured jewelry is created.
In 60 plus years.
In 69 years. We'll celebrate our 69th birthday in June.
Okay. Oh, the big one's next year.
So next year will be 70.
Big party, yeah.
Yes.
We were talking a little bit off camera, and your yearly cycle has changed quite a bit, which is actually very good for you.
It has. Traditionally, we used to do more than 25% of our business in December, and much of that happened in the last week or 10 days, and so it was really intense.
Yeah.
And so while we thought it was fun, it really was exhausting. And now the shift has occurred where under 20% of our annual business happens in December. And so we have busy summer months, which has always been fun. But even now, during January, February, March, April, the repair business has really picked up to the point where that is no longer really seasonal. These guys are buried all the time, which is a really good thing. And so I serve as their backup. We have two really talented guys who spend the vast majority of their time at the bench and doing either restoration work, repair work, or custom-made pieces.
And that's a lost art form. I think you're seeing a lot of steady business there because many people just throw their items away instead of repair them, and you're one of the only shops who actually does repair.
And we take great pride in being able to do it right here. We have a shop upstairs for my bench and my two benches, and Tom Armstrong, one of our guys that's been with me for 26 years and has actually been at the bench for 40. And then Kenny is downstairs, so we have a full-fledged shop, and our casting area will be down there along with the laser welder. But lots of fun, and it's a really, we feel, important part of our future.
Absolutely. And what I love is I see many of the same faces when I come in here year after year. So you're obviously a wonderful guy to work for.
Well, I appreciate it. We have what we have because we have some really talented, very gifted, very loyal staff that work. So it's a great team. We feel very, very fortunate.
Absolutely. Well, great. Well, thanks for hosting us these past 3 weeks. It's always a pleasure to come here. Lots of gift-giving holidays on the horizon, and hopefully you will have another tremendous year at MJ Harrington.
Thank you very much.
Dave.
All right, Lynn.